Okay, so the first thing you're going to need to do is download the load character light link. This will make it easier for you to spawn your avatar into Roblox Studio. So you just want to go over here and then click install, and it should open up Roblox Studio. Okay, then once it's done installing, this pop-up thing will show, and you just basically have to say okay, which means that the plugin has been installed. Alright, now you want to go to the next link, which will be down below, which is to download the older version of Blender, just because I have no idea how to use the new version of Blender. So basically it'll open up this website. What you want to do is go down here and go to download Blender 2.7.9 old. Now it'll open up this website. It might look a little bit confusing, but it really isn't. All you need to do is look for the type of computer you have. If you have a Windows, Mac or a Linux, then you just have to select over here what type of operating system that you have. So I have a Windows, so I would do Windows 32 MSI. I would recommend if you have Windows and MSI, just because MSIs are easier to download. And then for Mac, it'll be a zip or DMG, and Linux, it'll be this one over here, or you could choose this one at the top for Linux. But yeah, so since I'm a Windows user, I would download this one over here, the Windows 32 or 64. So the next thing you want to download are the rigs, and the rigs will basically make it easier for you to blend the limbs in Blender. So what you want to do is first go here and change your operating system depending on your computer. Mine's Windows, so I don't have to change anything. And then you just go over here and then you say download. But before you do that, I would recommend going to your desktop and making a new folder so you can save the rigs in there. So basically what you just want to do is go here to download and then pick the folder that you want to save it in. Okay, so once it's done downloading, it should say here at the bottom that it's downloaded, and then all you want to do is just click it, and then if something pops up you say open. Okay, now this should open up. All you want to do is make sure that the rig is there. The rig is called default blend. So you want to go out and then click on these two dots and say extract to, and then extract to the same folder that you should have made on your desktop. Okay, then now what you want to do is open up where you save that file and then rename the rig. The rig will be called default blend. Rename it to woman rig. Oh yeah, and another thing for the block rig, it'll also be a link down below. You just basically do the same thing that you did for the woman rig with the block rig, and it'll have the same effect. Okay, so now you want to open up Roblox Studio, and in Roblox Studio, this will pop up. So what you want to do, if you don't have Roblox Studio already, it'll be linked down below for you to download. But if you have it, then you want to go to New and go to All Templates and go to Base Plate and click on Base Plate and wait for it to load. Alright, so it should load in like this. Once it has loaded in, then you go over here to Plugins, and then you go to your load character plugin that we have downloaded, and then basically you type in any single username that you'd want. So I'm going to use mine. And then make sure spawn at origin is checked and press spawn R6. Okay, it should load in. Then to move around in Roblox Studio, you use normal WASD, but to rotate, you hold down the right click on your keypad or mouse, and you just move it around to move. Then you want to go to the front of your avatar, and the first thing you want to do is, if you want to change the face, or add anything. So to change the face, what you want to do is go over here to this little tab, Explorer tab, open this up, scroll down till you can find head, and then open it up, scroll down till you find face, and then there'll be like a little, so go to the properties bar and there'll be like a little thing that says appearance, go to texture, and to change the face, what you want to do is go to your Explorer and open up roblox.com. Then in Roblox you go to the catalog or avatar shop. Then you go to the normal place where the faces are, which are in body parts, and then go to faces and you find whatever face you want. So I want that super happy face, so I'm just gonna go to the highest. And there it is, the super happy face. And then what you want to do is go to the top, and in the top there'll be a link there. Now you would see like a bunch of numbers in the middle. What you want to do is copy those numbers. So to copy, you right click and then you can exit out of your browser, and then you go to texture, delete the old link and paste in the numbers, and then the face should change. Okay, so I'm happy with the way my avatar looks. So now what I'm going to do is to export it to Blender. Well, export it out of Roblox Studio. So I'm just gonna go over here to the Explorer tab, and then what you want to do is we want to right click and then go down to export selection. And then you just save it in any folder you want to save it in, and yeah, and name it as whatever you'd want as well. Now you want to do the same thing. For the head. So you want to do after you've saved everything, you delete every single body part except from the head and accessories. Once you've done that, you go to the head and then you export it again, but then this time you name it as your username and head so you don't get confused. Alright, once you've done that, you're good to go. Next, you want to head over to where you save the rig, the woman rig or whatever rig you downloaded, and you just want to open that up, and then it should open up in Blender. Okay, so the first thing you should know is that in Blender, to move around, it's still almost the same. So what you want to do to move around, you say Shift and F, and then you use normal WASD to move around, and you use your mouse or keypad to rotate, but make sure to always use Shift F. Now what we want to do is delete the eyes and the mouth, because we'd never use that in rendering, so, and the head as well. So what you want to do is to select things in Blender, you make sure it's in object mode first, then you want to right click and press X on your keyboard to delete. And basically to select multiple things, you right click and hold down Shift. Okay, now that that's gone, now we want to add texture to our avatar. So now what you want to do is you want to right click to select, then go to this little tab here. At the top it's pretty small, but there'll be like 3 lines. And then your cursor will change to a cross. You want to hold that down and pull all the way to like the middle. Then once you've done that, you want to go down here to this little cube icon and then go to node editor. Now that'll basically open up this graph. Now I know this graph might look confusing. What you want to do is zoom in and then scroll up and go to the image texture. Go to this little file icon by image texture. You want to open up the file and then open up where you saved the first OBJ, so your character's OBJ, and the texture should be there. Okay, then once you've opened up the texture, to close this up, you hold it down again by this little thing, you drag it up. Oh wait, I just messed it up. Wow, okay, you drag it. Give me a moment to fix this. Okay, as I was saying, to close this up, you go to this little the same tab again, and then you drag it up and then pull it back down to close it up. And that's basically just how you close it. So now you use Shift F to move around again, like as I said, and you move closer just to get a better view, and make sure that this is your avatar's texture and how you would want it to be. So now the next thing you want to do is import the head, because obviously we need a head. So you're gonna go over here to File and then go to Import and say Wavefront OBJ, and then open up where you save the head and accessories. Okay, then once you've opened it up, you use Shift F again to move around, and it should look like this. So the head will be backwards, but we're gonna fix that in a moment. So now what you want to do is select everything with right click and hold down Shift, and then before you do anything, you want to join all the head and accessories together. So what you do is hold down Control and J. Now you're gonna go over here to this little tab, Transform tab, then go over here to Edit. From Set Join, change it to Origin to Geometry. Okay, now that it's been set to Origin to Geometry, you want to rotate the head, but what you want to do is go over here to this little tab, then go to the Z and change the Z to 180. And then it should rotate the head back, but sometimes it might be misplaced, so you just want to move it around until you're happy. But I'm happy with the way it is. Okay, now we're gonna start going into the animation part. Okay, now before we start the actual animation, this is really important. So you want to go over here to this little tab, go to the camera icon, make sure the settings are 190px by 1080, or you can do 1270 by 1280 by 720, and make sure it's at 100. Then what you want to do is go scroll down, change it from FFmpeg video to AVJPEG. That's just like movie or film format. And then you want to go down, then go over here to this little output thing, and then click on File, and then choose where you'd want to save the animation, and then name it as whatever you want to name it as well. So I'm just going to name it as tutorial animation. Okay, then you click accept, and then you're all good to go. So now the next thing you want to do is go to this world icon and pick whatever color make sure ambient occlusion is checked. Then pick whatever color you want your background to be. So I want mine to be like a pink aesthetic, pastel pink. And to check how it looks, you want to go here and then to this little ball icon, and then go to rendered to see how it'll look. So I think that's still a bit bright, so we're gonna change it down to like a darker pink or purple. Okay, I thought this purple, so I'm gonna leave it as this purple. So basically that's how you pick it, any color that you want. Now to go back to the 3D view, you go back to the ball icon and go to texture. Okay, now we need to add a camera to the scene. So you want to make sure it's in object mode, and then go to add and say camera. Then to go into your camera, you want to press 0 on your keyboard. And then move it around with normal Shift F. Position where you want the camera to be, but for this animation, the camera is going to start here. Now, what you want to do is go down here and drag this little tab up. Then you want to go to this little end things and drag them in, just to make the timeline bigger. Make sure this is at the start. Alright, now you're going to press 0 on your keyboard, and then what you want to do is make sure that the hands, or position that your avatar the way you want it to look first. So I'm going to go back to 0. If you want your avatar to look like this when it starts, then that's fine, but I want mine to have a different position. So all I wanted to do is I'm going to go over here and right click and make sure it's in pose mode. And I'm just going to move the arms up. Just so that it's like a cute pose, so I'm just going to move it up. By the way, to rotate things or move things up, you press R on your keyboard. Or you can use this, but I don't like using that, so I press R. We're going to start the actual animation process. So another thing you want to do is go to camera icon in this tab, and then change the frames to 30, just so that it's more smooth and it's not glitchy and rough. We want to make it smooth. Don't put it too high unless you have an extremely powerful operating system, and I do not have an extremely powerful operating system. So now what I want to do is go back to 0, then go to this little recording icon. It looks like a recording icon, but it's like a red circle, and then you just press it. That makes sure that the keyframes are on. So you want to start at 0, always start at 0, and right click on the camera on these lines. So you just right click on it, and then to set the keyframe, you just want to press R and then left click. So that basically what that does is it sets the keyframe that is going to start it there. So you press R and then right click to stop it. Now you want to move it by, I would recommend 20, and then you want the camera to end. You want to move the camera to your avatar with your mouse or keypad, and then you left click, and then the camera moves there. So to check how it looks, you just go over here and then you press this play button, and it shows you that the camera moves. I'm sorry if you don't understand, but that's as much as I can explain it. So you right click on the camera to start the keyframe at 0, move it to 20. Something called auto keying will pop up there. So you move it to 20, and then you just let it go. To let it go, you left click to stop it. So I don't know. Okay, I'm just gonna explain again. Okay, so to move the hands, so I'm gonna move to the 10th keyframe, and then go down to 0. Then I want it to be a certain position, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to turn auto keying off, but make sure you set the hands keyframe. So to set the keyframe, you press R, don't move anything, make sure auto keying is over here at the top, and then press left click to release. Now I want it to be just there once the camera has moved. So okay, so I'm going to turn off auto keying. And now what you want to do is move the hands back to normal. So to move the hands back to normal, you press R, and then you just put everything down. Then we're going to select the arms and then put them back to normal. We want to select the arm, the circle thing at the top of the arm. Select it. I select the arm, the circle thing of the arm, then press R to set the keyframe. Then do the same for the head. Press R to set the keyframe. Then go back here to object mode. Select one of the parts of the rig. Then yeah, it should move to pose mode. Now we want the arm to move up. So as I said, move to 60 or move up by 20 keyframes. And press R to completely make sure auto keying is off. So to turn off auto keying, you go to the circle and then you press it. And then rotate the arm by pressing R and move it. And then to do the waving pose, you're gonna have to move the arm again, like rotate it, because of the fact that the rig only makes the arm to bend forward and backwards, and we want it to bend to the side. I don't know if you understand all that, if that makes sense, but if you guys have any questions, make sure to ask me down below in the comments and I'll respond to each and every single one of them. Or you can go to my Instagram, peechq, to ask me any questions. That's part of the arm again, and move it up by like 5 keyframes, which will be in the middle. Press R to set the keyframe. Move it again by 10 keyframes, so to the middle of 70 and 80. And then turn off. Well, yeah, you can turn on. And then you can move the arm to like that. Bend it as much as you want, but I would recommend not too much because then it'll go through the head. And if you see that it moves, so it moves like that. Then what we want is to move the head as well. So I'm going to set the keyframe over here by pressing R and set another one. Okay, now we want to set so now once we've set the head keyframe, what you want to do is turn off auto keying again, then rotate the head like that, and then just move it up a bit. And then we're going to turn on auto keying again, press that's not the pose, the waving pose isn't finished yet. So what we want to do is, now is go over here and select this thing again, the circular part in the middle of the arm, and what you want to do is the keyframe has already been set here. You want to move it again by 10, and you can leave auto keying on, and then you can just put it back to normal. Then you want to select the head and turn off auto keying for the head. Rotate the head back till it's straight, and then move it to the normal axis. Then what you want to do is press auto keying R, left click to release. Okay, now we can just watch the animation again. And that's the waving pose. Now we're going to move up by 10 keyframes and select go into the camera. And then what you want to do is, now to end off the animation, you can just move the camera up or to the side, but I'm going to move it up. So all you want to do is press R, left click to release the animation, and then move it up by 10 keyframes and just move the camera up. There you go. that's basically your animation. So you just watch it again to see how the animation would look. There you go. That's your animation. Just gonna go back to texture and then go over here to render, and then go to render image animation, not image, animation, and your animation should render. It might take like about 2 hours or an hour or so, but yeah.